a railing from the Mahabodhi temple in Bodh Gaya, dating to the 2nd-1st century BCE, does depict a relief of Surya, the sun god, riding a quadriga, 4-horse chariot. This artifact is housed in the Bodh Gaya Archaeological Museum, India. It is considered one of the earliest known representations of Surya in chariot form, an iconography that later became central to Hindu art. This early relief predates classical Hindu temple art and comes from a period when Buddhism and Brahmanical traditions coexisted and often influenced each other in art and architecture. The Mahabodhi temple complex originally had stone railings, Vedikas, built during the Shunga or early Satavahana period. These railings were adorned with narrative panels and symbolic motifs from both Buddhist and Vedic traditions. The inclusion of Surya reflects the syncretic culture of that era, not uncommon in early Indian art. Yes, the quadriga relief of Surya from Bodh Gaya is genuine, ancient, and significant as one of the earliest surviving depictions of the sun god in Indian art. The presence of the Surya, sun god, quadriga relief at Bodh Gaya, especially from the 2nd-1st century BCE, is very significant from both a historical and religious perspective. Here's what it tells us, especially in relation to Buddhism and the origins of the Mahabodhi site. Syncretism, not supremacy. The depiction of Surya in early Buddhist railings does not mean the site was originally a Brahmanical, Hindu, temple. Rather, it reflects the cultural and religious syncretism of ancient India, where Vedic deities were depicted symbolically in Buddhist contexts without being objects of worship. Early Buddhist art incorporated common symbols from Indian cosmology to connect with the local population and communicate universal ideas. Syncretism means mixing different beliefs, ideas, or traditions, especially from different religions or cultures, to create something new. If people take ideas from both Buddhism and Hinduism and combine them in one place or practice, that's syncretism. The site was a Buddhist Mahavihara. Bodh Gaya is universally acknowledged, historically, archaeologically, and scripturally, as the place where Siddhartha Gautama attained enlightenment under the Bodhi tree. The earliest constructions at the site were Buddhist stupas, railings, and monasteries, Mahaviharas, supported by rulers like Ashoka 3rd century BCE. There is no credible historical or archaeological evidence suggesting that a Brahmanical Hindu temple predated the Buddhist presence there. Role of Surya in Buddhist iconography. In early Buddhist art, especially in iconic phases, Surya and Chandra, moon god, sometimes appear as celestial witnesses to Buddha's enlightenment or to signal cosmic significance. They are not worshipped but appear in scenes to mark the universality and importance of the Buddha's acts. This use is symbolic, not devotional. Evidence of Buddhist primacy. The railings and reliefs from Bodh Gaya belong to early Buddhist architecture, typically linked to Buddhist stupas and Mahaviharas. These structures were created long before the rise of temple-based Hinduism, which developed in its full architectural form centuries later, around 5th century CE and after. The Surya Quadriga relief at Bodh Gaya is Buddhist in context, despite using a Vedic deity. It does not prove a Brahmanical temple origin, but rather confirms the Buddhist nature of the site during the early historic period. The Mahabodhi site was, and still is, a Buddhist Mahavihara with historical continuity from at least the Mauryan period onward.